It is time for entertainment news. Now, the first story on our list, Juice WRLD's family released statement following the rapper's death. Now, following the death of American rapper and singer Juice WRLD, his family has spoken out about his recent death, saying that they hope his legacy will help others battling addiction. According to the family statement, his mother, Camilla Wallace, said, and I'm quoting, "We love Jarrad with all of our hearts and cannot believe our time with him has been cut short." As he often addressed in his music and to his fans, Jarrad battled with prescription drugs dependency. And she continued stating, "Addiction knows no boundaries and its impact goes way beyond the person fighting it. Jarrad was a son, brother, grandson, friend, and so much more to so many people who wanted more than anything to see him defeat addiction. We hope that the conversations he started in his music and his legacy will help others win their battles, as that is what he wanted more than anything. We know that Jarrad's legacy of love, joy, and emotional honesty will live on." And in another twist, Juice WRLD is now the most streamed artist in the US after his untimely death over the weekend. According to reports, his discography earned more than 38.2 million streams on Sunday, which was the same day that he died.
Wow. So that happens almost every time when somebody popular dies, and then you see that their songs are actually most streamed. And I keep wondering, because maybe because of the news, and then it goes everywhere, and they say that bad news travels fast, you know. And it's the same thing as when you don't display people's pictures on your phone, on your status, and then the person dies, and and everybody will start doing such, and people will be like, when the person was alive, did you do all of this? I mean, all right, I'm talking about the dependency on addiction and on prescription, yes, and then it was addicted to it. Oh my gosh, like that could even be something that is not even cocaine or anything, because I could remember that you know, I used to suffer insomnia a lot one time, and then I was always taking Piriton to sleep. You know, and then it was almost like, so people were around me were scared for me, because it was almost like if I did not take it, I would not be able to sleep. So it could be anything. It could just be anything.
For him, when they found his plane, the private jet, I think they found about 70 pounds of marijuana, 6 bottles of prescription codeine. So he obviously was on prescription drugs. And, you know, when the news came out, I think on Monday, I remember saying that I hope that this is not a drug issue, and I hope that this is not something that had to do with dependency. But it has come out to say, because then the reports were not out of what the cause was. Now that it's out, and we know that it's a drug overdose, I'm going to reiterate my points that I said on Monday, which is that young people, especially musicians, especially artists in the industry, who feel like this is the new cool, or this is the only way to make music, this is a warning, and this is something he was struggling with. So I just feel like we need to talk more on the conversations of using drugs, using prescription drugs, hard drugs.
Report out yet.
That's coming from his mother. That's coming from his mother. So I don't see why his mother would want to bring out a false report. She is saying that she hopes his life and his untimely death is a lesson to other people out there. This thing has been happening with
XXXTentacion.
Exactly. I always find his name really funny. And other young rappers are dying 2021. It's becoming like an epidemic, and it needs to stop.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I mean, this is sad. And the fact that the day that he died was the day that, you know, his music was streamed the most. I'm just flipping this in my head, like, what, I mean, this would have been good if you were alive. But I mean, this is just to reiterate your point. Please, stay away. This one is never about prescription. This thing, anything you think is not cool to do, it's not the right thing. Don't think because people are doing it, it's the new cool. Because there's some artists that on a normal day they won't do these things, but then because this artist is doing it, I want to do it too. I want to feel among quote and unquote. You don't have to do it. Just do you. Stay healthy. Being healthy is key. Forget about any other thing. There's nothing about being cool when you're not healthy. All right. So moving on to the next story. More women accuse Cuba Gooding Jr. of sexual misconduct. Now, Manhattan prosecutors have added 7 more accusers to the list of women who are accusing American actor Cuba Gooding Jr. of sexual misconduct. Now, according to the reports, the actor faces 3 misdemeanor counts for forcible touching and 3 misdemeanor counts of sexual abuse involving incidents with 3 women now who allegedly, I mean, the actor groped them without their consent. Now, this new set of witnesses, like the others, are also claiming that the actor sexually touched them without their consent in nightclubs, restaurants, bars, and at film festivals in multiple states and all of this dates, goes back as far as 2003. Now, Cuba Gooding's next court date is scheduled for January 22nd, and he has since pleaded not guilty to all of these charges.
This one is really disappointing for me, because I really respect him as an actor. I like his acting a whole lot. And, you know, sometimes I know how it is when you're not guilty till you're, you know, found guilty. I understand that and I respect that a lot. But when you have 15 counts of sexual harassment, of sexual misdemeanor from different women, and recently, I think this year, 7 more people have come out again to complain about you, and then you plead not guilty. It makes me feel like, would over 20 women just come out and lie against you?
Well, that's possible, in all honesty. They can't just gang up against you. But my own take on this whole thing, and the way that I'm viewing this is like, okay, so, what's this man's name in jail already? I can't remember his name.
Bill Cosby?
Bill Cosby happened, R. Kelly is on. It's like, okay, who's the next guy? Who's the next guy? Is this really a case of taking a black man down, as OJ says, or is it a case of these people have been doing this thing? So now that we're seeing that justice has been, you know, now that we see that these things are being taken care of and justice is being passed, should we start calling out all these people? Because in all honesty, I mean, if this could just come to Nigeria, there's so many people that would be guilty of this. Because a lot of them do this and they get away with it because they're like, you know what, I'm a big star, nobody's gonna believe your story. But if they see how these celebrities abroad are being taken down, I feel like they'll be more careful. Warning. It's like a wake-up call to them.
So where there is law, there should actually be good behavior, like a good conduct. And I'm so shocked that these people are Americans and, you know, they're there and they don't know what obtains. If it was Nigeria, as you said, a lot of people would be guilty because they just don't know. In fact, well, maybe some of them know, but some of them don't even know that when you don't have consent from the, you know, the other person, and then you're touching, you're slapping, you're hitting the butt of that person, it is so wrong. So I don't know. We'll just keep our fingers crossed and see how this would actually turn out at the end of the day. All right, moving on. Naira Marley's trial adjourned till February 2020. The trial of Nigerian musician Azeez Fashola, a.k.a. Naira Marley, by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for alleged conspiracy and credit card fraud has been adjourned again till February 2020. According to an operative of the EFCC, Nuru Buhari, when the case cross-examined by Naira Marley's counsel, Olalekan Ojo, SAN, he told Justice Nicholas Owebo that the laptop retrieved from the defendant during investigation does not show whether or not it was used for crime. Justice Owebo later adjourned further trial till February the 27th and 28th, 2020. In case you do not know, Naira Marley is being prosecuted by the EFCC on an 11-count charge of conspiracy, possession of counterfeit cards and fraud, all of which he has since pleaded not guilty to. It was, however, granted bail in the sum of 2 million naira with 2 sureties in like sum.
Naira Marley back in the news, and again, the thing has been adjourned to February. Well, to be honest, how do I feel about this? I hope that the right thing is done for whatever case pass it is. I can't really say whether, because he is pleading not guilty, and from the other end of things. But one thing that I would say that I'm happy about is that we are waking up to the fact that internet fraud is not acceptable in the society.
Are we waking up?
We are waking up to that fact. However, measures are being taken the wrong way. Because I know a lot of times nowadays, especially on the island, people are being harassed, both men and women, because they have iPhones, because they are driving a certain type of car, because of whatever reason. I have a friend who just got back from the UK who was asked to pay 20,000 naira by SARS for having an iPhone. So yes, it's a very wrong measure the way it is taken. I think it's becoming a harassment of citizens. So there's the pros to it and there's the cons to it. But then the fact that we are awakening to the fact that, okay, internet fraud is not acceptable. It's not acceptable because you maybe are helping other people out. I'm happy about that.
Honestly, I've said I'm not going to say anything about this Naira Marley issue anymore, but I don't think that people are waking up to the fact that internet fraud is wrong. I mean, going by the number of people that now, quote and unquote, attack Simi or the attack with, on Rugged Man way back as well, and the way people disrespect him. I've been in certain places where people are like, Rugged Man, now on our snitch now. And I'm like, no, like that's the person even speaking up for the right thing. And in all honesty, this Naira Marley thing has opened my eyes to see that this generation, our generation actually needs prayer and needs change of mindset. Let me say change of mindset over prayer, because their mindset is really messed up. How can someone tell me Naira Marley is a legend? So I don't think people are waking up to the fact that internet fraud is wrong, because the way at which they're supporting this guy, I'm not against him, but I'm just like, what is wrong is wrong.
We have a community of people that are waking up to it. We have a bigger community.
We don't have the fact to say, okay, yes, he probably did this or whatever, but he spoke up for, not against fraud. And he has like so much people on his side, and that I find really ridiculous.
So I would say that the family is the bedrock of the society. The parents would have to do a lot of work, because it is what you deposit in the child growing up, training the child well, that, so that we don't have a lot of, nonsensical human beings around. No, because the parents have a lot to do. I'm just saying this, like we have to go to the roots and then we have to deal with this. If this is where we are, how did we sleep and woke up and then we found ourselves here? I mean, it's just so pathetic.